Not eat that 3 months out of surgery. In fact, I would not eat that now, 8 months out of surgery. So if you're having the surgery, have had the surgery, don't eat that. Good morning, y'all. It is Rosie here, and I am trying to keep this thing going with getting videos out to you guys. I do have a lot of videos planned. I know I've said that the last few times, but it is true. I have a lot of videos planned about Japan, moving, about being pregnant, post gastric bypass surgery. But for the moment, I've got a guy coming soon who is the on site for the mover, like the moving company that's moving us to Japan. So I have a few things I need to do. Like I've got the washer, the dryer, like everything's running right now. So I have a few things I need to do before he gets here. So I thought, okay, what can I do in a short amount of time? And I know we've been talking about Alexandra Rodriguez and her post-op journey, and I've just been comparing it with my own experience. With that in mind, I saw that she had a video called What I Eat in a Day After Gastric Bypass, plus emotional eating chats. Now, this video was a year ago, so this is not new content. I'm really just talking about her gastric bypass content for the most part. That's what my last video about her was. So, it's only 11 minutes. Like, let's watch it. I'll give you guys my thoughts as someone who has recently had gastric bypass. I say recently, it's been like 8 months. I've lost about 105 pounds so far. Also, I am more than 5 months pregnant. So do with all of that information what you will.
It's so crazy. It's been months. And getting full this quickly is still just so weird. Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I have been getting a lot of requests to do more what I eat in a day after gastric bypass videos, so I'm gonna do one for you guys today. Very standard, simple, straightforward what I eat in a day video. This video is gonna be pretty chill, vlog style. I'm not gonna be looking cute, but you know what? We're gonna eat. So here's a very standard what I eat in a day. I am about 3.5 months post-op right now. I will link my gastric bypass playlist.
Okay. Yes, I am now in the mind state of myself 3.5 months post-op. Let's compare.
Down below if you want to see more about my journey and my experience, my recovery process. It's all in those videos. So let's go ahead and make some breakfast. So I've actually done a what I eat in a day video before. One of my favorite things to have is a scrambled egg with a little bit of avocado, but I have that most days. But lately I've been really into yogurt. It's been a really simple, easy meal.
Okay, so I have to pause it. Every single person is different. I personally, 8 months post-op, cannot eat a scrambled egg. I cannot. I will vomit every single time. Every single time. And what's funny is I know people who have had the surgery and can, but my aunt cannot eat an egg, and she is like scrambled. And she is like 1.5 years post-op, I think. And then I have friends in my OA, and none of them can eat scrambled eggs. So it's just like interesting to me what some people can tolerate and what others can't. Obviously, that doesn't have anything to do with like how she's doing post-op. That's just like my personal comment, because like I cannot eat a scrambled egg. I tried the other day. My grandma got this scrambled egg, and I want to say it was like roasted garlic leeks in a burrito. And it sounds weird. Anyway, she was eating it and it smelled so good, and I was like, can I just have a bite of that? Instantly threw up. I will tell you it did taste good, but cannot do the scrambled eggs. Okay, back to it. Sorry.
For me in the morning, because kind of something that's happened to me since the surgery. Let me know if you've had a similar experience. I find a lot of things don't go down as easy in the morning than they do at night. I feel like, I don't know, maybe sleeping resets my stomach and it's a little bit tighter, smaller, I don't know. Just like very specific things don't go down as well as others. And yogurt is something that I really like to eat in the morning, or the scrambled eggs and avocado. So I've been buying Chobani. I actually just put in my Instacart order these Oikos Greek yogurts that are like higher in protein. I can't remember what they're called. I'll put them on the screen here, but just to have a like higher protein.
Are higher in protein. For me, a lot of stuff was a consistency issue, especially at 3.5 months. And I just could not do the thicker yogurts. So I found myself kind of avoiding yogurt in general, especially still at like 3 months or so. Also, I found that a lot of yogurts, even though they're like high protein, would have so many carbs and so much sugar, and it would throw my whole day out of whack. So I just kind of avoided yogurt entirely. Right after my surgery. I still probably don't have very much yogurt now. Like, I just don't really eat it. And then the baby has decided she hates certain fruits, and those fruits that she hates happen to be what I like to eat in yogurt. Okay, so good on her if she can tolerate yogurt and eggs, because your girl cannot.
Option is what I'm going to be buying in the future. But to be honest, my husband always has Chobani's, so these are his, and I just like had one the other day and I'm like, I'm kind of vibing with this yogurt. It goes down super easily, gives me a little bit of protein to kick off the day, and it's like just enough to fill me up, you know, because now I don't eat a lot during most meals. So, and you know what's interesting? Since having the surgery, I get full really quickly, but I find myself getting hungry every couple hours. So like, I don't always have a strict like 3 meal a day. I sometimes have smaller meals throughout the day. So we'll kind of just see where the day takes us. Some days I do.
Okay, so with what she just said in mind, I want to talk about kind of how I approached everything post-op. So I would get up in the morning and immediately make myself some breakfast, right? And then as far as like the initial stuff, y'all all know it was all liquids. But I'm saying like once you kind of moved into like the puree food phase, that kind of thing. So I'd have some breakfast. I still cannot tolerate a like protein shake. Even now, they make me vomit. It is just, it's a viscosity issue, right? So what I found myself doing was making like, you know, like breakfast essentials you give to like kids, like a breakfast essential. I would make that with like a fat-free milk and, or sometimes 2% milk, but that's all I could tolerate like thickness wise. And that was kind of like my second meal. And I say second meal, but it was like a midday. See, leading into the surgery, I'd already set myself up on the schedule where I had breakfast, protein shake, lunch, protein shake, dinner, right? So post-op, I was already in that mind frame of like, okay, I'm gonna nibble a little bit here, and then I'm gonna have some protein. I'm gonna nibble, protein, nibble, right? So for me, at 3 months, it wasn't a 3 meals. It was definitely a whatever I can tolerate for breakfast, some sort of protein option. I did find that I can drink the Fairlifes because they're really thin. So I drink the Fairlife protein shakes most of the time, but I don't drink a whole one. So I have half of one as my mid-morning snack, half of one of my afternoon snack. And honestly, I'm still doing that now, like 8.5 months post-op. It really keeps you full throughout the day. So when your pouch is emptying, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever she calls it, you already got that lined up, and that's what you're doing. So there's no like, oh, what can I nibble on, or nothing like that. It's just, it's already there. I already know I'm gonna do it.
Eat like a 3 meal a day, and like I said, sometimes I end up eating smaller meals, you know, like 5 times a day. I listen to my body, I feel when I'm hungry, and I focus on getting a good amount of protein. So I'm gonna eat the rest of my yogurt, and I will see you guys when we eat our next meal. Lunchtime. I'm gonna make myself a low carb chicken quesadilla. I love this meal. So my nutritionist in my program doesn't mind if I have carbs, just wants me to have like not a crazy amount. And if I do, I opt for a whole wheat low carb option. So I love these Mission Carb Balance whole wheat tortillas. Only 5 grams of carbs, 110 calories. 0 sugar, and one of them has 9 grams of protein as well. So those are a great option for, you know, a little like roll up sandwich or a quesadilla. And I have my chicken defrosting in the microwave. I always keep chicken breast in the freezer and take it out as I need it. And then
see, I don't know how she's eating chicken breast. So like now at 8 months post-op, I cannot eat chicken breast. No matter how anyone cooks it, I cannot eat it. I have to eat, especially, this is what's, okay, I have to eat, like, dark meat because it's moist, right? Even, no matter how people cook chicken breast, I cannot do it. So, what I find insane, though, is at that stage, like, at that time, where she's, like, 3.5 months post-op, she shouldn't be eating chicken breast either. She should have been sticking with those dark meats because they're, like, wetter. The other thing is, I've just now gotten to the point where I can eat, like, the soft tortilla. Like, I make a little tortilla wrap, and half for breakfast, half for lunch. I don't know how at 3.5 months she was eating that, and I can't even eat a whole one now. So I'm interested to see what she does. And, ugh, the cheese. Don't even get me started on the cheese. I can't. She's, like, sabotaging herself. Oh, whatever. Okay, back to it.
I have some low-fat Mexican cheese as well. Okay, so I am about to show you guys the coolest thing that you need to grab on Amazon. Something I don't recommend being obsessed with calorie counting. I use this purely to like track my protein because I'm really focused on getting that protein. It attaches to an app in your phone, and it has and then you can weigh it on here, and it will break down the calories, all of this.
Okay. Back to it.
Good reviews, so I'm going to show you guys how it works with the chicken. Alright, so I am going to cut this up and cook it, but we've got our chicken breast on there. Gotta wash the hand. So I just clicked on the raw chicken breast option, and it breaks it.
So I guess it is a product placement since she has an Amazon, like, storefront or whatever that she gets paid for. So this is a paid advertisement, essentially. You don't need it. I just weighed everything, like got my ounces, like my 3 ounces of meat or whatever, and it's fine. Clearly, it's fine.
48 grams of protein. Is that not just like the coolest thing ever? Like, again, if you're tracking your protein or your macros or whatever, like such a great invention. I will link it down below, but now back to cooking. I'm gonna chop this up and just put a little avocado oil in my pan. And then we'll season.
I hope she's not planning to eat that 7.6 ounces of chicken.
We'll season our chicken. All right, cooked them up. I like my chicken in tiny pieces. And then to season, all I'm gonna do is some adobo. Chicken is cooked up. I'm just letting it brown a little bit more. And then I threw some avocado oil spray down in this pan. And I just threw down one of those tortillas, and I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese and let it start to melt before I add the chicken. I do about 1/4 cup, and I think I'm gonna add some pickled jalapenos too for a little spice. And now I'm just gonna transfer the chicken.
So the doctor told me to avoid stuff with vinegar in it. So I wasn't really eating pickled anything. I've had some stuff now, like pickled onions, pickled watermelon rind, things I made myself. But like I said, it's been more than 8 months since my surgery, and I still maybe only have a little bit. I just can't imagine. I haven't had a quesadilla since my, like, before my surgery. The thought of it just seems painful. I can't believe she's eating this 3 months out.
Onto one side, just fold it over, and voila. I'm doing it like this because realistically, I'm gonna probably be able to eat these 2, and then in a few hours I'll eat the other 2. But like, it's so crazy to think, like, before I had the surgery, like, I would have eaten like 2 full one of these and been full. Like I would have done like one tortilla, toppings, and then another tortilla, which would have been 2 of these, like in total. So it's just crazy to think, like, I think that's the best way for me to break it down. I know I'm gonna get full after these 2 because I've eaten this like many times. Like I can truly eat a quarter of what I used to eat and get full the same way. So just to like kind of put that into perspective, but you can't go wrong. It's super high protein.
For me, I would not eat that 3 months out of surgery. In fact, I would not eat that now, 8 months out of surgery. So if you're having the surgery, have had the surgery, don't eat that.
Like, it's still weird. Like, it's so crazy. It's been months. And getting full this quickly is still just so weird. It's a mind fuck sometimes. Because there's definitely moments where I'm enjoying my quesadilla. I'm like, I would like to eat more of my quesadilla, but I'm genuinely just so full I don't want any more. It's like mentally you want more, but physically you don't. But thankfully I'm someone when I feel that like real fullness, like, ugh, like I don't want to eat more, which is something I learned in the therapy before my surgery. I had to go through, we all have to go through like psychiatric evaluation and counseling. And
P.S. You don't have to do that if you get the surgery in Mexico. However, I do like OA and stuff now. And I also did the pre-op diet for over a month leading into the surgery. So I lost 30 pounds before I ever had the surgery. Something she didn't do. Do with that information what you will.
I learned in that I don't struggle with binge eating disorder. I struggle with emotional eating, because she told me that people who struggle with binge eat past the point of fullness. Like it's all mental. It's all just like they don't stop after they're like full, even eating like a bag of bread, even if they don't enjoy it. And I'm someone who is an emotional eater, and it stems from my childhood, and I learned a lot in counseling. I've seen some comments asking about it, so I thought I would just touch on it for like a second here. I've really learned in therapy how to cope with my emotions, and this surgery really does kind of force you, if you do struggle with emotional eating, how to like deal with your emotions.
Okay. I can't say whether she has emotional eating or like, I'm not a doctor. I would say clearly she hasn't overcome her like food related issues at all. Seeing what I've seen now of her like up to date, she has not overcome any of these issues. And the fact that she talks in a way that would say that like 3 months post-op, she's overcome all these issues that she had. And it's like, no, surgery or not, the issues that we had that got us here, we'll have the rest of our lives. And it's something you kind of have to be cognizant of every single day. So for anyone out there who's getting the surgery and you think, oh my God, 3 months after the surgery, all my issues will be cured. No. You will have to think about it every single day. Well, if you want to lose weight and then live a healthy like lifestyle.
In a healthier way than just eating. I've always eaten for comfort when I'm stressed or sad or lonely, and like I've found other sources of joy beyond food now to help with my emotional eating, because the surgery really does force you to face that, because like you can't just sit down and open a pint of ice cream and eat it. Anyway, your girl's full. I'm just gonna throw this in the fridge, and realistically I'll probably microwave it in like an hour or two if I get hungry. Most of the you guys when we make dinner. For dinner, I am gonna be having these meatballs and some green beans with some bulgogi sauce. It is so freaking good.
While it does look good, I will give her that, it does look good. That's a portion size that I might could finish now at 8 months post-op. There's no way she's eating all of that 3 months post-op. And it just looks so greasy, and like, I don't know how it's not coming right back out of her. I'm really confused that this is how she eats.
A lot of times when it comes to dinner, I will have some sort of meat and a veg. Like we eat a lot of chicken, ground turkey, salmon. Well, my husband doesn't like salmon, but I like salmon. I'm not a huge veggie person, but I try to eat more now. I also drink a powdered greens mix with water in the morning, just to try to get some sort of like greens in my system. I drink that on an empty stomach. This is just food, but I also drink 64 ounces of water, minimum a half gallon every day. I didn't end up eating the rest of my quesadilla, so I'll probably have that for lunch tomorrow. But I'm actually pretty hungry, so I'll probably eat these 3 meatballs and most of these green beans. But
yeah, I couldn't eat 3 meatballs now. Like, there's no way I could eat 3 meatballs in one meal at all. And the sauce on the green beans, like everything I was eating at 3 months was so clean. Like no sauces, no nothing. They told me to keep butters or oils, anything like that, to the bare minimum. And that looked so coated.
But that's dinner. If you've also had weight loss surgery, let me know your staples and go-to. It just so happens that today was one of those days I kind of did just eat the 3 meals. Like, it's just kind of what happened today. Like I said, sometimes it's just small, more frequent meals throughout the day. But I know this is going to get me through until we go to bed. If I ever do want a small treat, I'll have some blueberries and raspberries, strawberries, like a little berry bowl with some fat-free whipped cream. That's been like one of my favorite desserts, or half an apple with some peanut butter. Pretty simple. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys want me to do...
I didn't think there was anything wrong with her video. I think it's more just a difference in what we did at the 3.5 months post-op. They really told me to kind of keep fruits to the bare minimum, especially still then, just because of the sugar and everything. So I really wasn't eating much fruit at the 3-month mark. I was really trying to stick with just vegetables and meat, and just really clean. So there wasn't sauces. I wasn't eating yogurts. I wasn't eating wraps. There was no additional stuff. It was the meat, the veg, and that was it. And then the Fairlife or the breakfast essentials for mid-morning and early afternoon. And that was it. Just the same stuff every day. I was not eating cheese. I still, yeah, no. Okay, just fundamental differences in our post-op journey there. Post-op, whatever you want to call it. I definitely don't agree with what she was eating and doing on this 3 months post-op. Whether you do or not is none of my business. I'm just giving my opinion as someone who had the surgery in February, and it is November 1st, November 2nd. So, do with that what you will. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.